Hey guys, it's your girl Lily. I'm just trying to knock these videos out. So it's still May 10th, 2018. Um, this video I'm gonna talk about reception and what it is, what you will do. And like I like to say every video, because this could be somebody's first video without looking at any other my other videos. Most of what I'm speaking about is gonna be about Fort Benning's experience because I was there. However, like I said, reception. Certain things should be the same for all basic training all the way around. So reception should be pretty much the same for everywhere you go because, you do the same shit. So let's get started. I wrote this down, you guys. Like I said, I have a notebook. I'm going to tell you my experience, what I went through at Fort Benning's reception. Finally, right? So, I arrived to reception on January 4th. I was the only female. When I went to the airport the day before, I was the only female out of I don't know how many males that came that day. So I was the only female. You go to the airport. We're passing the airport. We're at reception. We get off the bus at reception. Well, first we pull up. A guy gets on our bus and was like, "Get off my bus." So we get off the bus. We had to line up in a straight line. We had to take off our jackets. It was fucking freezing. Any bags we had on us, we had to put down on the floor. He said, "Any females, raise your hand." I rose my hand. He counted. There was only one of me. Then he had me go through. Oh, he gave a little brief, a little like, "This is what's gonna happen. This is what you're gonna do. That'll be your first set of orders. See if you're following directions." And I failed. I fucked that one up. He was like, you're gonna board with your orders. So when you get to the airport, you're gonna have your orders with you. So you're gonna carry your orders with you, and it's in a brown envelope. So he'll come up to you. He was like to everybody. He said, "What is your MOS? Are you active or reserve or National Guard?" Then he'd write your MOS and whether or not you're active. So mine was 11 Bravo, or mine at the time was 11 X-ray. 11 X-ray active. So you put it on there. He says, walk through the door, and you're gonna tell the person there your MOS, if you're active or not. And you're gonna put your envelope face down. I went in there. I kind of waited a little bit long. He's like, "Well, what is your MOS?" So then I had to tell him. And then he had to sit on a bench to watch a movie. It was a small little video that said like what was considered contraband, so what we could have on us and what we couldn't have on us, what we had to throw away. So not saying y'all should do this, because I said every fucking company and platoon is different. However, when I got to actual basic training, I realized I particularly did not have to throw away half the shit I had to throw away when you got to reception, because none of the drill sergeants checked for it. So one thing, I don't know if I wrote a list of what you can't have. So there's something called an amnesty box. There are like 5-6 doors, and then there's like it's almost like when you drop off mail, you pull the thing down, you put your mail in, you push it back, and it disappears. So it's kind of like that. And he says, you guys have like 2 minutes to go in there and dump anything you're not supposed to have with no question asked. We won't know it's you. You're fine. But if you're caught with this stuff after you leave this room, you're fucked. So lotion, one thing you couldn't have. You couldn't have lotion. You couldn't have like hair gel, hairspray, anything in an aerosol can. You couldn't have. Only certain razors. Basically, the cheap razors were only one thing that was allowed. You couldn't have the obvious like fucking knives and shit. You couldn't have conditioner, you couldn't have sunscreen, you couldn't have, obviously, perfume and shit. There's just a lot of stuff that you couldn't have, little shit. So I had a nice, big old thing of Aveeno lotion. Had to throw it away. I had hair, remember my hair was really short, it was faded, but I had gel on it. I had to throw away that gel, because it was on the list of what you can't have. It said you couldn't have fucking flip-flops. So I threw my flip-flops away only to be told you need the flip-flops for the shower. So I was upset about that. Um, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you had to throw away if you weren't allowed to have it. So basically, no hair. You can have no hair products. I think you can have shampoo. They all had to be non-scented, by the way. They said if you wanted it, but then we get basic training and you can have scented. So I'll let you know about that later. But anyway, so you'll do that. After that's done, they take you to a room. You get issued. That's when you get issued your stuff. You get issued your uniform, your PT uniform, your 2 green duffel bags. They have you take your like you come with a personal bag, that you're on a plane with. They'll have you take that, take the stuff, take certain things out of it, and then put certain things in it. It's like your phone, your charger, all that goes in your personal bag. And then they take your personal bag and you won't see it again for a while. And then you just have your 2 green duffel bag, which is what you'll carry with you to basic training. Now at this point, it was like 11 o'clock. It was 2300. We got in late. And so it was like 2300 when we were doing this stuff. It was pretty late. I separated my civilian clothing. Yeah, you issued your camelback that you have to wear with you at all fucking times. Like your tan shirts that goes under your uniform. PT socks, uniform green socks that goes with your uniform. Your rank, if you have a rank. So we got issued that. Then we got separated. The boys went to their area. I went to mine. It was like, so like 11 o'clock at night. So the male drill sergeant was knocked on the female bay door and was like, "This is a new trainee. Find her a bed, yada yada." So they found me a bed, and they were like, "First wake up call is at 04:30 in the morning. Formation was 05:30. So I got to sleep. I was happy about that. So basically the next 7 days is just processing. So I was there for like 8 days really, but you have to pull fire guard shift. I didn't have to pull it that night, but you have to pull fire guard shift. You guys will pull that. And for y'all that don't know, fire guard is basically you're making sure there's no fires. So like for that situation, I was in an actual like bay with like a lot of other girls. Most of the girls there were tankers and Cav Scouts, so they weren't infantry. There were 5 infantry females there, and the rest were like Cav Scouts and tankers. But there was a lot of us. Most of them were leaving like 2 days after I arrived. They left to their to the basic training. So, anyways, we had to pull fire guard at night. You basically pull it from lights out, which was like 2100, to the following morning 04:30 first call, and it's like an hour shift. You just like walk around the bay, making sure everyone's asleep, or like and you have to do chores at night. So there's like a list, like if you work at 21 to 2200, your job is to sweep the latrine, to mop the latrine, stuff like that. So when you're there, you'll take care of dental. They'll check your teeth. They'll make note if you need to get like not braces. If you need to get fillings or if your teeth need to be pulled, you will get all that done during basic training. Optometry, your eyes, they check that. If you need glasses, they'll prescribe you glasses. Audiology. That shit is so long. I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh my god. We sat there for like 10-15 minutes standing up, clicking a button. Like every time you heard the faint beeps, loud beeps, you had to click a button. But I swear we stood there for like 15 minutes doing it. And the worst part is we had to redo it because the man messed up. I don't know what he messed up on, but we had to redo it. And it was like the most annoying shit ever. But you're gonna do that. You're gonna get your boots. Make sure, you guys, your boots fit properly. I cannot stress enough about making sure your boots fit properly. You will get your feet fucked up. We have people who are on profile, and that was put on a soft shoe profile, which means they couldn't wear boots for an extended period of time because their foot got fucked up for blisters. Like I said, you're gonna be rucking a lot and running a lot in those boots. Sorry, I'm breathing heavy. Like, I'm so congested. But you're doing a lot of that. And if your boots don't fit right, like some people, they can be rude at sometimes because they've been doing their job for a long time and they take offense if you try to correct them, like, hey, this doesn't fit right. And they're like, oh, it's supposed to be like this. Like, no, if it doesn't feel right, it's your time. Get the boots that fit you right. They have like so for me, in like regular shoes, I'm a 10 in female. I wear a size 10. I know big feet in females. And men, I'm like 8.5, 9. So for the boots, they're all just one, like they're male boots. And they gave me an 8, which fit actually really well. But they gave me an 8 regular, and then she got an 8 wide. Because my pinky toe was fucked up for like 2 weeks because of how squished they were. I mean, you're gonna break them in. I mean, your boots are gonna suck for the first like 3 weeks. It takes legit 3 weeks for your boots to break in. And just make sure you're getting the right boots. You take care of your finance, basically how you're gonna get paid if you want allotments taken out. So if you have a loved one or a family member that you want to make sure like money's coming out of your check to give to them, you set up an allotment. They have a DEERS program. DEERS is for if you have children, you're married, you'll set shit up with them. I'll make another video separate about the DEERS program because I know a lot of parents have questions, moms and dads, and I will help you with that. So I'll make a separate video for that. And basically, reception was pretty chill. That's where you learn the basic, like, how to march, your positions, left face, right face, about face. You get marched everywhere. They didn't really smoke us at all. I never got smoked. I never had to do push-ups at reception. They don't want to injure you before you go to your basic training. Not saying that they won't, but at reception, I was Charlie Company. Charlie Foxtrot Company, which was a female, but what you will do at reception is a PT test. Now, that is a test you have to pass. You have to run, you have to do one pull-up, and then you have to run. I'm sorry. Yeah, so the first time I failed the run, so I had to redo the run a second time. And I can't remember what you had to run it under, but I fucked up the first time and didn't run, so I had to run again. And then they say, excuse me, if you don't pass it, you can't go to your your basic training until you pass it at reception. But there were plenty of girls who didn't pass the second time around, and they sent them off to basic training, so I don't know how true that is, or if they changed that. But you will do a 1 mile test and a pull-up. And I couldn't do a pull-up to save my life. I can do pull-ups now. I couldn't do it then, though. It's pretty chill. We did a cool cadence before we ate every time. It's just 7 days of you getting processed. And I remember when I watched videos, people were like, yeah, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. It wasn't that bad. The waits weren't that bad. It wasn't that bad to me. I feel like people who said it was being a little dramatic. But again, everywhere you go is different. So the reception at Fort Sill could have took forever. Even Fort Benning, depending on how many people was there. Maybe because there was a lot of people there, but it wasn't that bad. Take that time to study. They will give you what's called a blue book, you guys. A blue book has everything you need to know for basic training. I promise you, it's called a blue book. Study that. Don't just skim through it when you're bored. Study that. That has the Soldier's Creed in it. It doesn't have the Infantry Creed, but it has Soldier's Creed in it. It has the 7 Army values, the rank structure, has all that in there, and that's really important. That's what you need to know anyways. So take the time to study when you wait. you'll get shots. A good thing to do is get your shot records if you have them. I was able to get my shot records from my hospital, and they were in my records. So literally the only shot I needed was a flu shot. You will get a flu shot. Everyone has to get a flu shot. Sorry. You don't get a peanut butter shot anymore. They don't give that. People were talking about that. Woo, we missed that. So no more peanut butter shots. They don't do that anymore. But you will get the flu shot. That's like, and then some people had to get a bunch of fucking shots because they didn't have record of it. What else? I don't know. There's not really much to say about reception. I know the last day of reception, freaking, when it was time to leave. So the night before, we got a phone call to tell our parents. Oh, so we were able to write, I forgot to tell you, we were able to write letters at reception, but we couldn't put a returning address because we were only going to be there for 7 days. So they was like, you can write your family, but we weren't allowed to put a returning address because they said it doesn't make sense for you to put a returning address. They write you're not going to be here anymore. You're leaving in a week. So we did that. We were allowed, I think we got 2 phone calls. One phone call we got when we got, like, a couple days after we got there to say, hey, we got here. And then, like, the day before we left, we got a phone call to tell our parents that we were going to our basic training now. And, that was nice. But we had to bring out our bags. Funny story time. We had to bring out our bags the night before, our 2 green duffel bags. You'll go to what's called the PX. It's a store. And you're able to buy certain things. Females, you're able to buy your sanitary pads. You can buy bra panties. You're allowed to buy a brush. Deodorant. The deodorant you have to have, it can't be antiperspirant. It has to be just like regular deodorant stick. And the reason for that is, I guess, antiperspirant. You know what I'm talking about. Those deodorants keep you from sweating, and that's not good. You can get, like, heat stroke or whatever if you're not sweating enough and you're running, blah, blah. But you can get some shampoo. You can get razors. They give you, like, a hygiene kit. It comes with toothbrush, toothpaste, all that bull crap. So, you get your running shoes, too. You get your running shoes from the PX. They suck. They're horrible. They're ugly as fudge. Holy moly. They're like the cheapest. Like, it's like when you go in Walmart, they're like the cheapest running shoes you can find, to be honest with you. Like, luckily for me, I came in, my civilian shoes were my black Nikes. These, can you see that? These were my running shoes. So I had to buy these ugly shoes, but, like, I'm dang near flat-footed, so they gave me a shoe that had a big-ass block on the bottom of it. So every time I'd run, my shins and my calves would be fucked up. So I went to my drill sergeant during basic training. I was like, listen, I was given these shoes, but these are, like, they're hurting my feet. So my drill sergeant allowed me to wear my Nike. So I was wearing my Nikes from, like, week 3 on during basic training, and I was very excited about that. They're not all like that, but they're ugly. Anyways, you get all that stuff. So, watching YouTube videos, I thought I saw one time, actually, it was old, so everything changes, but there were videos where people would have one, because you have 2 green duffel bags, so people had 1 green duffel bag on their back, and they're carrying one off the bus. So I figured that's what would happen to us, but it wasn't. It wasn't what happened. So me and the girls were like, okay, let's make 1 heavy bag and 1 really light bag. Because we figured that's what was going to happen. So we did that. You know, we put a lot of stuff in 1 bag, like our boots and shit. Because you get 3 boots. You get 2 summer and 1 winter boots. So we put a lot of our heavy shit in 1 bag, and then had a light bag that had barely anything in it. So what happened the next morning is we had a white truck come, and they told us to put 1 of our bags into the truck. My dumb self put the light bag inside the truck, and I held on to my heavy bag. I was thinking when you get there, first I was like, wait, I thought we kept both of them. So anyways, I was thinking when we got there, they were gonna, like, empty our shit. And we're going to have to find our shit in a pile, because that's what I heard you do. You find your shit in a pile. and then you fucking go. So I was gonna just put the heavy bag on my back and then carry the light bag, right? No, it didn't happen like that. As soon as you before you leave though, they teach you some the drill sergeant from basic training will come to reception the day you're supposed to leave, and they will show you exercises. They will say, you'll be doing this exercises. This is how you do this. This is how you do this. And then you leave. So when we got to basic training, and I'm only going to do a little video because I'm going to make it separate for red face. But when we got to basic training, we had to put our heads in our duffel bags and we couldn't look up. And then a drill sergeant come on a bus and was like, welcome to Fort Benning, get the fuck off my bus. Obviously a lot louder, yelling it. But we got off. We had to run with our bags. Like I said, I kept my heavy bag, and our light bags was already somewhere else. But we had to run with that shit around the fucking track. We dropped our bag. We ran back around the track. We had to run through sand and shit. We did push-ups, did a bunch of bullshit. Then they had us take our fucking bags. We had to run to what's called a CTA. Remember I told you guys this CTA is where you form up your formation, basically. And they had us like fucking put our bags over our head and squat and do a bunch of shit. Then we had to grab. There was a pile of all of our other bags. It was like, grab a bag, any bag, and go upstairs. And that's where we were going to our platoon. And the shit was miserable. Holy moly. But that's it for reception, you guys. I'm making separate videos, I'm telling you. Yeah, there's not much to talk about reception. Reception, like I said, you're just getting your, basically you're doing your paperwork, you're getting your dental, your eyes checked, all that stuff. And you're creating a profile that's going to stay with you the rest of your Army career. And you get a blue book, a study book to study. You just, basically that's what you do all day. Like, you sit on a bench in a big ass room, you wait for your numbers to be called, be like, okay, number blah 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 blah, blah blah blah, stand in line here and let's go. And then they take you to what you need to do. When that's done, you go back to that room, they'll call you again, take care of another thing. You do that all day. We break for lunch, breakfast and dinner, chow. We eat, we come back and do the same shit, and then at 2000, that's our hour of free personal time. Then we go to bed at 2100. You do your fire guard during the night, and then you wake up. It's the same shit. So you learn how to make your bed. That's be like, I think, hospital style. So not much for reception. It's gonna get interesting for when I talk about actual like red face and white face. So that was that video. Love you guys. See you in a minute. Bye.